All right, so question in this video is, should you get the Warrior V1 Pro stick or the V1 Pro Plus stick? And what's the difference? Is it worth it? And then also I say a somewhat review just because there's not a whole lot I can say about the Pro Plus that I didn't already say in my review for the V1 Pro stick video. So you can just go back and look at that review, and it's literally the same things I said about that stick applies to the V1 Pro Plus. Only difference to me that I notice is the weight, and I'll get into exactly what the weight difference is in a little bit. But yeah, other than that, just look at the pretty much just look at the V1 Pro review video I have, and that applies to the Pro Plus. So with that being said, the Pro Plus is very light, surprisingly to me at least durable compared to what I had experienced with past composite sticks. Just balance is good, just feels good when you play with it. Really have absolutely nothing bad to say about either stick at this point. I think if you go back and look at my review video for the V1 Pro stick, the only thing somewhat negative I had to say is that like I was experiencing some like unpredictable sort of rebounds on shots that I really shouldn't have. Like they weren't hard shots or anything, and I felt like this puck was kind of jumping off the stick weird. And even in the video at the time, I said that I wasn't sure if it was actually something with the stick or if it was something with me, since I have been using foam core pretty much my whole life, and it was just a matter of me getting used to the stick. And at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that it was an issue with me, because shortly after making that video, like that issue completely went away. I don't have any crazy, the puck does fly off the stick like when you want it to. I mean, like with pads these days, like that's just kind of the trend with almost everything in goaltending these days, equipment wise, is they want the puck flying off of it. So, I mean, it sends the puck flying off of it, but like it's supposed to do that, not in an unpredictable way that I was kind of complaining about in the video. So obviously it was just a matter of me getting used to these sticks, and because I hadn't, like I said, that issue went away with the V1 Pro stick, and then as soon as I started using the Pro Plus stick, it wasn't an issue at all because I had already gotten used to the Pro stick. So that was just an issue with me. So really at this point, there's nothing negative I can say about these sticks. There's always going to be somebody that maybe had a bad experience where they say, oh, the stick didn't last me, it only lasted me a few weeks or whatever. I'm sure you can find somebody who says that about literally any stick that's on the market. It's just kind of a matter of luck, good luck, bad luck, how long these sticks last sometimes. It's just 'cause sometimes things happen that no stick would hold up to, and it's just going to break no matter what. But for me, these sticks, there's nothing wrong with them. There's no cracks, nothing. So I have to just go by that. So all I can say is like there's no advanced early deterioration of the stick that I can see. Someone else might have had a bad experience with their one stick, whatever, but I think over time, if you keep using the sticks, I don't think that would be an issue. Anybody can have one bad experience with one stick, whatever, but to me, I don't see anything durability wise with these sticks at all. And that was like my biggest worry with using composite sticks, is the durability, and I have no complaints at all whatsoever. And like I said, I love these sticks, they feel great. Okay, so that's pretty much like, as far as review wise go, that's all I can say about that. So this is the Pro Plus stick. Pretty, like, other than it saying Pro Plus on it, which it says along the shaft there, it's, looks very similar to the Pro. You see this one just says Pro on the shaft. They look basically the same. So, like I said before, the only difference is the weight that I can tell. And officially, and I said the weight of the Pro stick in my previous review video for that. So the V1 Pro stick, and this is me weighing it on my scale, maybe, I don't know what like Warrior's official if they ever came out with like an official weight for it, what they claim, or maybe someone else has their own scale, you know, might be slightly different. So I'm just going by my own scale, my own measurements here. The V1 Pro stick came in at 735 grams. So the V1 Pro Plus stick came in at 654 grams. So again, the V1 Pro stick, 735 grams, V1 Pro Plus stick, 654. So that's an 80 gram difference basically. Now, you know, a lot of times we're talking in grams. We don't really deal with that, at least in everyday life. You know, it's not like you say 80 grams to somebody, but do you really, like, what do you picture in your head when I tell you 80 grams? It's just kind of an abstract number. I don't know, 80 grams. So I wanted to try to like find something else that I could weigh that's something anybody can relate to, so you can get a better idea of what 80 grams is. So I figured, all right, change, like money. Everyone's got change lying around, probably, whatever. So I wanted to see how many quarters equals 80 grams, and it turns out pretty much on the nose, 14 quarters weighed out to 80 grams on my scale. So the difference between the V1 Pro stick and the V1 Pro Plus stick is 14 quarters. So put 14 quarters in your hand, and that's the weight difference between the two sticks. Pro Plus, regular Pro. Now the funny thing though about, at least that I've experienced with these weight differences in the sticks, and this is even going back to my Warrior Foam Core when I went from that to originally to the V1 Pro stick. And I think I might have even mentioned it back in the older video too, that I didn't notice that much the weight difference right away. So like going from the Foam Core to the V1 Pro, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, feels a little lighter, but not like crazy. But the funny thing is like once you get used to the new weight of the lighter stick, you notice it going, if you try to go back down again. So you don't notice it as much going lighter, you just notice it if you ever try going back down to a heavier stick. So then like I was using the V1 Pro ongoing for a while, and then I don't remember, it was like a pickup or something that I didn't want to like risk having something happen to the composite stick. So I went back to my Foam Core for the pickup, and then I noticed it. I was like, oh my God, this is, yeah, I really noticed it. And then, so when I got the Pro Plus stick, again, from the Pro to the Pro Plus, just without, I hadn't even measured it or weighed it or whatever at the time. I just had it in my hand. I was like, oh, I don't know, yeah, a little lighter, not a huge difference, whatever. And then I was using the Pro Plus for multiple games, a couple weeks over, you know, in a row without going back. And then again, it was like a pickup or whatever that I didn't want to use my best stick, which at the time now is the Pro Plus. So I went back down to the V1 Pro, and I noticed it. I was like, oh yeah, I can feel it. This feels heavier. And it's just like, once you feel that lighter stick, you don't want to go back. You almost ruin it for yourself. So yeah, you can tell the difference. It's just, it might take you using the lighter stick for a while and then trying to go back down to the heavier stick to notice it. You might not just notice it when you first pick up that lighter stick so much. But yeah, it is a difference. And like I said, if you're not really sure what the difference is or what 80 grams is, if you have 14 quarters lying around, put that in your hand, and that is literally on the nose, like difference between the V1 Pro and the V1 Pro Plus. Just a real quick kind of aside, as far as like a comment about how they name these sticks, and it's not just Warrior. I believe Vaughn maybe was like the first one that started doing this. I don't really care for the way they name their products now, seems like. So like Vaughn came out with, I think it started with the V7s, where their Pro is not actually their Pro, it's their senior line, the one under the Pro. Their Pro Carbon is the Pro. So I mean, for those of us who are like real gear nerds and really into it, okay, like we know, we've heard about it, we're on top of it. But the reality is, not most people aren't like that, or they're maybe parents of goalies or whatever, so they don't know. And if they're just looking at equipment and they see something that says pro, they think, oh, well, that's the pro, that's the top of the line, that's what I'm getting. So, I mean, I don't think it's as far, I wouldn't call it like dishonest or whatever, but it's just, it's kind of misleading. And I think there's got to be a better way to name the lines without doing that. And so now, like with Warrior, again, it's kind of confusing because you got the Pro, the V1 Pro stick, and then you got the Pro Plus. But again, if you're not really into the gear, if you're just a parent, whatever, you're just looking, you see V1 Pro, you think, okay, that's the top of the line one. If you're looking for, want to get your kid or yourself the top of the line one, it's a little misleading. But that being said, you know, the thing with these Warrior sticks, the V1 Pro, it actually is a pro stick, basically, because it's basically the same stick as the CR1, which was their literal top pro level stick on their last line of composite sticks. So I guess you can argue in that way it's almost like they have two pros, like, I don't know, like they have a pro and they have the ridiculous super light pro. I don't know, but I just think there's a better way they can kind of name it. So anyway, so getting back to, like, we want to figure out, is it worth getting the Pro Plus over just the Pro? Should you get it specifically? Like I said, the only thing I can tell the difference with this is the weight at this point. There's nothing else performance-wise or anything that one stands out over the other. It's literally just the weight for me. So it's like, how much is that worth to you? So the V1 Pro stick is like $200. And this might vary depending on where you buy your sticks. I don't know. I basically go off Goalie Monkey pricing because that's pretty much where I buy most of my stuff from, Goalie Monkey. So like I said, V1 Pro is like $200. The V1 Pro Plus, I believe, is like $290. It's like, so $90 difference and 80 gram difference, 14 quarters, the weight of. So is the weight of 14 quarters worth $90 to you? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just putting it out there. If you're someone like me, for me, it's like once I get a taste of the top of the line, whatever, it's hard for me to go down, even if it really wouldn't make a difference. And it really wouldn't, if I'm being honest. If I never use the V1 Pro Plus again and just stuck with the V1 Pro, I really don't think it would affect my game or anything. But it's just like knowing that there's the higher level and you've used it and you like it. It's just kind of like, I can't go back to the lower level. So if you're kind of like that, like me, that might affect your decision. But I would say if money is an issue at all, you know, I mean, being a goalie is expensive. All us goalies know this. So, you know, if you're already like kind of behind in your credit card, you got a little bit in debt, or you have any kind of issue with money at all, by all means, just go with the V1 Pro. I mean, maybe saving $90 isn't the biggest deal, but it's something. So if it's gonna put you out financially at all, I would say don't do it. Don't go to the V1 Pro Plus. Just stick with the V1 Pro, and you'll be fine. There's absolutely no problems or issues with it, and it's basically still a pro level stick. I mean, it is not basically, it is a pro level stick still. And if you can afford it, then hey, whatever, go ahead, get the Pro Plus. You're gonna get, I believe it's the second lightest stick on the market, only to the Bauer 2S. It is lighter than the 1S, and I think just the 2S is the only thing lighter than the V1 Pro Plus. So you're getting these, and it's not by much, like that's like 15. I haven't measured the 2S, so I really don't want to say like definitively anything. And I can't find an exact weight of it, but I've just heard that the 2S is the lightest stick out there, slightly lighter than the V1 Pro Plus, but only by very little. So you're getting the second lightest stick out there with the V1 Pro Plus, and it is like, especially if you're not used to composites like me, it is pretty jarring, like how light it is. And I have other goalie friends that I've let kind of try the stick, and everyone's like the same reaction, like, oh my God, this thing's ridiculously light, and everyone seems to love it. So I really think that's the only thing this comes down to, is just like where you're at financially and what you can afford. And hell, even, you know what, if you can't even afford the 200, because that, let's face it, 200 for a stick is a lot, then whatever. I mean, it's a goalie stick. It's not as far as performance wise, it's not the most important thing in your game. So my overall philosophy is, if financially you can't afford it, then just don't. I mean, get even less than the V1 Pro. But if there's some issue financially with you getting the Pro or the Pro Plus, you're fine with the Pro. So my final verdict, or whatever, if you will, is the Pro Plus is just kind of like a luxury, just to have a ridiculous light thing. Like if you want to like put this in maybe car terms, it's like, you know, you could get one version of a car that's got like 350 horsepower, and then the next level up for like 10,000 more maybe has 400 horsepower. It's worth it, but do you really need the extra 50 horsepower just to drive to work or whatever you're doing? You know, it's just a luxury thing, man. And for me, I think I'm gonna just stick with the Pro Plus because I can afford it. And like I said, with me, it's like once I get that taste of the better thing, it's hard to go back down. So I'm personally probably just gonna stick with the Pro Plus, but it's because it's not putting me out financially at all. I can afford it. If there was any issue with me where I was straining my wallet to get it, I wouldn't. I would stick with the Pro. So just like I said, literally just comes back down to what you can afford as far as whether you should upgrade to the Plus or just go with the Pro. Both of them completely really good, excellent sticks. Can't say enough good things about them. Both of them, just the weight is really the only difference. I guess that's really it. You know, if anything else comes up with these sticks, like maybe something crazy happens with them breaking in some weird way or whatever, I don't know. I guess I can do an update, but other than that, I don't really know what else I can say or what might change with these sticks. So hopefully this maybe helped you if you were trying to decide between the two, or if you're just interested in these sticks, how they are. As usual, if you want to ask me a question in the comments, I always answer them. Other than that, I guess that's it. All right, see you guys next time.